Get ready for the show. It's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to the Pro Fan Talk. Coach Marcus with you. I got the close up. Let me go back to the studio, see what we can see. But it has been a very interesting last couple of days. Indiana Fever winning the Commissioner's Cup. Nobody expected that. Nobody had that on their bingo card. Nobody. What's going on, Tiff? Even with to the point where ESPN made the mistake, I guess on their Twitter feed or whatever, when they put out something that said the Minnesota Lynx had dominated Indiana. They hadn't even played the game before. Now, that has happened with ESPN before. Last year, 2023, ESPN ran a 30-second hit on the San Francisco 49ers talking about Trey Lance. And they were talking about, they do that little blurb, giving you updates, game updates while the game is still going on. And they were talking about how bad Trey Lance was playing. And Trey Lance had brought San Francisco back and actually won the game. Now, this was like the last preseason game. He had a bad first quarter. I think he threw a pick. He did not have a good first quarter, but he played almost the whole game, and he brought San Francisco back for the win. But they recorded that, who knows when. But clearly, they didn't watch the game. So now you got the situation now, and you got more eyes on you. And it was just a bad look for ESPN. But that just proves my point. And I've said this many times before. Everybody doesn't watch the game. Everybody that's on those shows, all those media heads sitting in those studios talking about the games, they don't watch all the games. They don't have context. They watch highlights in the morning when they get there. They got a crew of people shoveling stats and numbers in front of their faces. They didn't study the game. They didn't watch the game. They don't know the context of the game. They didn't know the back and forth. They didn't know the flow of the game, who had momentum, who didn't. They don't know any of that. They're just getting stats. And people got to remember, that's what it means to produce a show. Sometimes when you guys hear me and I sign off and I say, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I know I'm going to produce a couple videos. That means I'm going to sit down, write a script, have some ideas, put everything down. I'm going to shoot it, record it, edit it, sweeten it, make sure the audio is right, render it, post it. That is a produced video. I did that. As opposed to right now, I made a thumbnail, I clicked go live, and we're here. So it's kind of impromptu. It's a live situation. I'm engaging in the conversation. I don't know how anything is going to go one way or the other. So it's very matter of fact, off the cuff, and you don't know what's going to happen. They get produced stuff. So they're producing it in a way to elicit responses, traffic, all of that type of stuff. I saw somewhere, I didn't even give it the time of day, but I saw it. So where there's smoke, there's fire with some of these people. And I saw somebody had quoted that Skip Bayless had made a comment saying that Caitlin Clark was faking her injury. And I was like, anytime you get to the point where these people on these big media platforms are saying just off the wall shit like that, that's where I just tune them out. There's some people that I already don't listen to, but Skip Bayless is somebody that's so loud that somebody's gonna hear what he said. Obviously, if somebody made a video about it, but I'm like, why? You already know that that's bullshit. And then, of course, then the video comes out that Caitlin Clark is at practice shooting jump shots and working on her leg and stuff like that. Um, and people, like, even with that, even Caitlin Clark fans and Indiana fans, which I am one of, I know what that is. I know what that is. I know what I see. I don't think she's playing tomorrow. I think they already came out and said that she was out for tomorrow's game. And I would think that she would come back that soon. So when you got a groin injury, she's pushing it to see where her mental is and where, how it feels when she's cutting, stepping back, going full speed. And even when you in practice like um, that ain't full speed. When I see, I don't want to see her working on her shot. I don't want to see her working slash rehabbing her injury. I want to see her at practice running 5-on-5 like everybody else in practice. When they start showing those clips, that's when you know she's back. When they show a private, not a private, but they're probably done with practice. She's probably getting in extra work either before or after practice, one-on-one with the trainers. Every time she takes a shot, how you feel? Every time she does a step back, how you feel? Every time she crosses over, goes behind her back, goes side to side laterally. Um, it's a how you feel session. And she is gauging how she can go. That right there is going to show you, can she go? If she's 75%, is she 85%? Is she 90%? Because let's be real, 90% of Caitlin Clark might be better than a whole lot of other people's. 100%. Her 90 might be better than a lot of players' 100. But she still got to gauge what she can do. The mental part of it is when um your mind has to tell your body it's ready. Because there is a mental, um, your brain can hold your body back. You ain't ready for that. You ain't ready to make that cut yet. You ain't ready to shoot that jumper yet. You ain't ready to go full speed in the paint yet. Your brain will hold you back. So a lot of the rehab stuff is her getting her mental aspect ready. Her brain's got to know that the body can do it. The hard part of that is you're not going to find that out in practice. The only time you can get anything from practice is when she wakes up and you're right. You know it feels good. You know it feels good. And then once you get to that point, you got to go through a game and then come out the other side, wake up the next morning and not have any problems. That's when you know you're good. So you're not going to find any of that information out in practice. You got to go game speed. So that's what we're waiting to see. Q, if you guys have ever seen my me and Tone's show on Sundays, the Eagles off-season show, Tone used to work with Dan Sileo. So I know what he's about. Sometimes I watch him, sometimes I don't. He goes to the next level. Not the next level, but he's one of those dudes that don't care what he says. He's got his opinion and he's gonna stick to it. So he likes to talk to people like he's always right and he's not. Sometimes I watch Dan. I haven't watched him in a while, but I'm very good at I can take you or leave you. Because I watched some of Dan Sileo stuff because Dan Sileo is one of those dudes that knows everybody. Knows everybody. Now, you might not agree with his opinions and his takes, but he'll bring somebody on the show and it's like, you can't really argue with that. You know what I mean? So he's got connections and he knows what he's talking about. However, I don't necessarily got to agree with all of his takes. Not at all. So I can take or leave Dan Sileo. Sometimes I can tolerate him. Sometimes I don't. But you always know me. The greatest invention known to man is the on-off switch. And I use it. Jason Whitlock is another one. I can't stand most of his takes. And I just tune them out. Just tune them out. Rather than give him the traffic, give him the time I just tune it out. So I have no context of what he's saying about it. And I see a lot of stuff. I've seen some channels that really go after Jason Whitlock, but I'm not going to give him, because here's the thing. If you're talking about Jason Whitlock, somebody going to have to go do homework and watch his show. Nah, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to promote what he's saying and what he's doing if I don't like it and I don't agree with it. So what I do is just give him a good letting alone. It's that simple to me. So he got a right to say what he want to say. He was a pretty guy. I used to watch him back in the day when he was on the sports reporters covering his coffee while he talked. That's when I thought he was pretty good. And he just went on some other stuff. And I don't know. It's just like, I don't agree with his stuff, so I don't watch it. That's simple. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the 500 is, Tiff. WIP. I listen to WIP. WIP again. Here's my logic. Okay, here's my logic on the sports radio. It ain't WIP. You got to pick and choose who you talking about. Because I'll still listen to Ike Reese. I'll still listen to Richie, John Ritchie. I'm always inclined to listen to people who played the game. And for me, and again, I'm going to be biased. Ike is somebody I know personally. He's a homeboy. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. And I like most of his takes on the radio because we're like-minded, because we're former players. We kind of think alike in a lot of regards. Not all the time. There's been times where I disagree with his opinions, but they're his opinions. But most of the time, I like Ike. Most of the time, I agree with Big Hugh Douglas, John Ritchie, because their perspective is basically my perspective. And even in that, sometimes I'm like, you might be off on that one a little bit. But that's the way it goes. A lot of those other guys, I can take them or leave them. And I don't really listen to them enough to really know. Rob Ellis, I listen to. Shout out to Rob. Rob is somebody that had me on the show when he was with Jacob Media a couple times. Derek Gunn is another one. Those are people that I know do their homework. Barrett Brooks. Barrett Brooks has been on my podcast many times. I just got a text from Barrett Brooks today because he saw my golf video. I'm trying to get him back on the show before the season gets started. So there's people that I listen to. And again, Barrett Brooks, former player. Our perspectives are the same. Irvin Fryer, been on his show. Our perspectives are the same. We look at it from a different lens. Philly 500. I've watched some of his stuff. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. Again, it's just like Philly 500. What's the other ones? Hold on, I got them on. Let me see. I can't. I'm drawing a blank. Philly Mike. I like Philly Mike. Lord Brunson. I listen to a lot of his stuff. Lord Brunson can be extreme. But again, the same thing. I like a lot of stuff that he says. And when he goes to the place that I'm not trying to go, I can turn him off. But most of the stuff from Lord Brunson, I like. Simone with the sports, she's another one. I listen to her. I like most of her takes. Most of the Philly stuff, I'm good with the Philly stuff. You know what I mean? It's the people that try to that are trying to talk about everything in trending sports and stuff like that, where it can get a little dicey. And some people, if you don't like it, just turn it off. Yeah, I like LB, man. LB don't mince words. You know what I'm saying? He takes it to another level sometimes because LB, to me, he come at you like a damn battle rapper. You know what I mean? Like he no holds barred. He got that military background. Like he don't be playing. So he going for the kill every time. So, but I like I said, I like most of his stuff. He said things before that I didn't necessarily agree with. But again, we talking about opinions, and that's kind of gets into the way people interact with one another now. Because we don't, it seems to me, and remember, I'm old school. I'm an OG, triple OG. By the way, it's July. This is my birthday month. My birthday is July 12th. If you're going to wish me happy birthday, you got to say it twice because I am a twin. I got a twin sister. So I'll be figuring out something what we're going to do for my birthday next week. Is it next week or the week after? The 12th? I got to check. But um, but yeah, it's everybody got an opinion. But it seems like these days you can't talk to people. It's either it's all or nothing. Either you're gonna agree with what I'm trying to say, or I don't want to talk to you. Nobody wants to discuss anything no more. Nobody wants to like my you guys heard me say this the other day on the stream. My opinion is my own. I am not in any way trying to change your mind. When we talking about Caitlin Clark, when we talking about Angel Reese, we talking about the Commissioner's Cup or any basketball, any of that. I am not trying to change your mind. If if what you saw on the court doesn't change your mind or doesn't sway you to my perspective, nothing is going to change you because we both looking at the same game, talking about the same thing. You saw the same thing that I saw, but your perspective is different. I tell people all the time, I've gotten in arguments. I've gotten to where people come at me on social media. In Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever groups. This is usually on Facebook. I remember last year, Caitlin Clark had a couple games, and this was the first time I ever pointed out that when she was with Indiana, I said the same thing when she was with Iowa, but this was the first time I'd ever done this in one of the Indiana Fever groups. And I pointed out that she doesn't do a very good job of moving on defense. And when she's not getting the calls, her body language is trash. I said that last year. I said that when she was in college. And people in those groups were like, if you a hater, why are you in this group? And I was like, who hating? That is, in my mind, that is a game observation. That ain't hating. That's exactly what I saw on the court. That is exactly what I saw on the court. Those games where Caitlin Clark gets pissed off, just like the whole situation with Connecticut and JC Sheldon and the fight and all of that kind of stuff. All of that shit started because JC Sheldon was guarding her physical. And the blueprint has been out that that is a way where you can frustrate. If she is not making her shots and you are playing her physical, that is a easy way to frustrate her. But when you do that and she drops a logo 3 on you, she gonna talk shit in your face. That's the way to do it. So I know what I'm getting into, and I got a former player's mind. I got a coach's perspective. So my outlook is a little bit different. That's not hating on nobody. That is not hating. That is a game observation. And if you can't see that, then we just not watching the game the same way. And that's okay. What's up, Chris? So nobody wants to have a difference of opinion. Nobody wants to talk it out. Nobody. So my thing is, I'll tell you in a heartbeat. I am not here to change your mind. You watch the same game that I watch. You come up with your own conclusion. I'm not here to change your mind. I'll give you my opinion. My opinions are my own. Y'all know my favorite saying: opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. But people want to get so upset, so mad, so thin-skinned. Did y'all see my post today on Twitter? That's that's the old classic Donald Duck cartoon where they was all poor farmers and Mickey Mouse had to slice the bread like razor thin. And that's how thin-skinned some fans are right now. To me, that's like you can't talk to them. It's like they go so far left if you don't agree with them. It's like it ain't that serious. Not that serious, though. So you look at it right now, the Indiana Fever, they just won the Commissioner's Cup. That's great. They celebrating. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm watching the celebration, and I'm like, is this a little much for a mid-season award? Was that a little much? because that's the vibe that I got. I was like, y'all turning up a little bit too hard for something mid-season. I mean, I know an extra 30 bands. When your salary is 70,000, you get an extra 30,000 in your bank account. That's reason to turn up. That's reason to turn up. But what I did was I went back and I looked at the Aces when they won the cup. I went back a couple of years trying to find the celebrations on YouTube after the team won the Commissioner's Cup. And what they did, what I saw from Indiana was pretty much the same as I saw from the Aces and who was the other team? I think I watched like 2 or 3 videos, all the same stuff. Everybody drinking from the cup, all of that type of stuff. So all I'm saying is that made me feel a little bit better because I thought they were going a little bit overboard for a mid-season award. Because at the end of the day, the long and short is you gotta make it to the WNBA finals. That's what you're trying to. That's the ultimate goal. Ain't nobody gonna care that you won the Commissioner's Cup. Nobody gonna care. Couple of y'all gonna show up to practice next week in the brand new SUVs from your bonus check. So I ain't mad at you, but it was the same as I had seen years before, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Um, Ari McDonald had a great game. Her new nickname is Ari Stay Ready McDonald. That's her new nickname. Um, I do think it was good for their morale. It galvanized them. Definitely do that. But let me be honest with you. Tomorrow, when they play Vegas, I'm expecting Vegas to run on them to gouge them out. I am not expecting Indiana to win. If To me, if they win tomorrow against Vegas, that will be a statement win tomorrow. Because normally when teams come off a very emotional high, they crash. They were up here this game, and you got to come down from that emotion. Now, if they can come off that, I mean, let's be real. They in the locker room, they got the lockers covered. They popping champagne. They drinking out the cup. They turned it up. You got to come down from that. You got to come down from that. Some of them girls in there, you heard the video. Some of them ain't never won nothing ever, ever. Caitlin Clark didn't win anything in college, so they ain't never won anything. So you know what your mama used to say: don't act like you ain't never been nowhere. They ain't never been nowhere. So I understand it, but there's a cost. There's a cost. So if they win tomorrow against Vegas, they should have won the first time, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Um, if they win tomorrow, that is a statement win in my book. That is a statement win in my book. Are they at home or are they in Vegas? They are in Indiana. They are at home. So if they can manage to play 4 quarters of basketball like they did yesterday, if they can keep that level of play, keep that consistency up, the Vegas game, that will be a statement win. To get a win like that without Caitlin Clark after the big win of the Commissioner's Cup, that will tell me more than them ever winning a cup. This Las Vegas game. Because I won't be surprised if they get their doors blown off. Because it is very difficult to operate at that same level after coming off like a championship high. That's a weird that mid-season stuff is weird to me. Because I never had anything like that when I played. That stuff didn't exist. I guess you could say, like when I was playing football, and then when I was when I was in college at Eastern Kentucky, and we would win a conference. We blow everybody out, and by eighth, ninth game of the year, we done beat everybody in the conference, so we conference champion. We undefeated in the conference. I guess that's similar, but this is different. This is different. So, SL, that is correct. That is correct. Big Ten championship 3 times in a row. But guess what? The Big Ten championship ain't the national championship. That's great. That's just like I said, Eastern Kentucky, we won the OVC, but we never won a title. We made it to the Final Four one year, lost to Marshall, never made the title. The title is what people remember. The Big Ten championships is just a little blip on your resume. Don't nobody care about a conference championship. You want the title. This ain't football. Football, that matters more because of the bowl games and all of that type of stuff. But in basketball, dude, you gotta how far did you make it in the tournament? That's what people want to know. How far did you make it in the tournament? You gotta that's what people remember, not the conference championships. So I don't want to, Oklahoma City had a good run this year. New York had a good run this year. But what is everybody going to remember? OKC. They're going to remember Halliburton going down and OKC winning the title. That's what they're going to remember. And then when you get 2, 3, 4 years down the line, all they're going to remember is OKC winning the title. You're going to have to look up the information about Tyrese Halliburton going down. And because that's not in the stat sheet, it says win or lose. WL. Them rings ain't gonna say nothing about Halliburton going down. When they hang that conference championship banner, Western Conference, Eastern Conference banner, don't nobody care about them. Don't nobody care about them in the arena. Are we home for the next 5? Nice. That'll be able to give them a nice little rest. So, yeah, they let that one slip in Vegas. They definitely did that. Tiff, I'm with you. They got to be locked in. They got to be locked in for that game. They definitely got to be locked in. But again, coming off of an emotional high like that is difficult. It's difficult. So we'll see what they can do. I need that same type of play from everybody. Natasha Howard, Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston has been on the heater lately. Was so glad that I saw Aaliyah Boston show me some fire, like ready to step up and get in somebody's face. You know what I mean? Like not backing down the fee. And you know what? Just letting people know, like, yo, I'm a big body girl, and you ain't just gonna move me like that. It ain't gonna happen. Now, is she gonna keep that up? That's what I want to see. Is she gonna do that with Shakira Austin? Is she gonna do that with who else out there that's gonna try to body her up? You know what I mean? So I like that Aaliyah Boston got a little bit chippy and a little bit talkative and like, hey, we gonna battle you for it. So I want to see more of that. If you're gonna get in foul trouble, make it worth your while. You know what I'm saying? So he did. Yes, he did, Bob. But guess what? He didn't win the title. And it ain't gonna say that next year on the stat sheet. They only gonna talk about whoever got that chip. So you are 100% correct. But in 5 years, nobody's gonna remember that he was clutch in the NBA Finals. All they gonna remember is that all they gonna say is they gonna show the highlights of SGA. That's the way it go. Do you think the team will be more unified now that all the drama seems to be behind them? The drama's not behind them. To answer your question, yes. Winning a championship together can galvanize the team because that's the one thing, the mid-season tournaments or whatever, that's the one thing that can bring you together because you still won something. You still won something. You did it together. You did it without arguably your best player. You still got it done. Kelsey Mitchell showed everybody what she's about. Don't forget about me. You can if you want to. Sophie Cunningham stepped up big, hit them threes. She took minutes from Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull is my girl. Because I love Lexi, because Lexi is a hustler. She going to get you them dirty rebounds, hustle plays, going to sneak down baseline and steal a rebound from somebody. That's what Lexi Hull does. And then when she does get an opportunity to hit that three, she going to hit that three. But this time, it was Sophie Cunningham all over the place. Sophie Cunningham still is not a great dribbler, but it is what it is. So you getting quality minutes from everybody. Michaela Timpson, ooh, she that far away. She that far away. Michaela, if you listening to me here on Pro Fan Talk, do me a favor. All you got to do is jump straight up in the air. That's it. All you got to do is jump straight up in the air. You got a long-ass wingspan, and you got hops. You ain't got to swipe. You ain't got to do none of that. You ain't got to come forward. All you got to do is go straight up in the air with your reach and your vertical ability. You going to change everybody's shot. You don't have to go after them. Just go straight up in the air. They got to change their shot. So she looked a lot more comfortable than she had in previous games, because before she just looked like she was slow. She was just looked like her hips didn't want to move. And that was the first game where it's like, okay, I'm seeing something and I want to see more of that. So maybe she earns some more minutes. We'll see how that works out. Which post you talking about, Tiff? Which one? I'm on this is my Twitter feed right now. Which post are you talking about? Oh, about Aerie. Let me know which one you talking about. I think I did see it. I'm still foggy on which one it was. So let me know. But I want to see Indiana come out. Like I said, if they handle business tomorrow, that will be more of a statement win, in my opinion, than them actually winning the cup. Actually winning the cup. And now you got these people talking about what there's a lot of people that think that that are trying to insinuate that Cheryl Reeves threw the game. And I'm like, see, this is when fandom goes too far for me. Because to me, that's just downright straight up 100% disrespectful. 100% disrespectful. The mere fact that someone would insinuate that a coach would lose on purpose. Coaches don't want to lose. Players don't want to lose. So when people insinuate that, that irks me. That irks me. So great. Oh, they bought yeah. I think they're gonna be part of the Detroit team. Because they from Detroit? I think they're gonna be part of the Detroit deal. So that's good. I think we need more celebrities getting into that. And you got some of these former basketball players, NBA alumni, they put their money where their mouth is, and they see the business growing. That's the easiest thing. They want to get into ownership, and they see the business growing. You already know Dawn Staley gonna have some type of piece of the Philadelphia team. You already know. If Dawn Staley is a part of that team, the viewership, the visibility goes through the roof. Goes through the roof. You already know she's gonna have to start ducking all the questions about if she gonna coach, but she already put that to bed early. But things change. How many times have we seen a coach say one thing and do another? All I'm saying is the possibility exists. I'll take Dawn Staley at her word. She says she don't want to coach. She's good with college is her calling. College is her calling. She wants to own. She don't want to coach. She want to sit in the owner's box. I ain't mad at her. And by the way, I got to get her book. I got to get her book, Uncommon Favor. I got to get her. I got to order that book. So, they are guys that want to be involved in that aspect of it because let's be 100%. Some of those guys that got all of that money, all they want to do is spend it. They don't want to be a manager. They don't want to be an owner. They don't want that responsibility because don't get it twisted. If you're gonna own a WNBA team, part of an NBA team, if you're gonna be any type of owner of anything, it requires work. And a lot of these guys in the NBA, they want the money, but they don't want the work that comes with it. Everybody want to be like Magic. Y'all don't really understand how hard Magic works. So, it ain't for everybody. So everybody shouldn't do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I can see her walking away being an owner and not a coach. I can see that. I can see that. They still talking about they wanted her for the Knicks. They just hired Knicks got a new coach, but still the fact that this is the second time Dawn Staley's name done come up for an NBA job. And I think she could do it. I think she could do it. So we'll see. We'll see. But the only thing I'm talking about right now is I think I need to see Indiana take care of business tomorrow. Now, the one thing that's been going on around a lot, um, what's this girl's name? Emma Meesman. Emma Meesman has been tearing up Eurobasket. Emma Meesman has been tearing it up. And everybody's already talking like, yo, Indiana, you might want to make a call. You might want to make a call because this girl has been doing the damn thing and she ain't playing. Um, Look at this. I'm just seeing this. Deals for DeWanna Bonner, Emma Meesman. DeWanna Bonner, she gonna get what she get. Um, I mean, let's be real. DeWanna Bonner is let's pause. I was about to throw a joke out there. Let me pause. Because I know I ain't gonna do it. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna keep it clean. Leave the toxic on the bench. DeWanna Bonner is ring chasing. Let me say it like that. DeWanna Bonner is ring chasing. This is probably going to be her last year in the league. So she's trying to take every opportunity she can to get that wing, to get that ring. So if it happens to be with her, I don't know, it was Alyssa Thomas her wife? Are they still girlfriend and girlfriend? Like, I don't know. Her significant other. Let me say it like that. I don't understand why Phoenix would entertain her. They got a good thing going on. Why mess it up? And if you seen what just happened with Dallas, I don't with Alyssa Smith and Dejanay Carrington, nah, y'all don't want that type of trouble. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. She's gonna end up somewhere. She's gonna end up somewhere, and it'll probably be usually in situations like this. And just like in the NBA, just like in the WNBA, you're gonna have injuries later on down the line. And somebody might scoop her up. Somebody might scoop her up. So I am hoping that Indiana just runs the table. They get their shit together. Caitlin will get healthy, and Kelsey Mitchell will keep playing the same. Sophie Cunningham keeps playing with confidence. Lexi Ho keeps doing what she's been doing. Aaliyah Boston keeps doing what she's been doing. Natasha Howard, just all we need is Caitlin Clark to stay healthy and get back to shooting like she know how to shoot. That's what we need. Cut down on some of the turnovers, and we'll be all right. We've shown that we can power through a second half. We've shown that we can come back from a bad third quarter and pick it up in the fourth quarter and take back a win. We've shown that we can do all of those things. And we've shown that we can have a big lead in the first half and lose it in the second half. So we've seen every aspect. We've seen the good and the bad. We've seen the highs and the lows. We've seen them give up a 23-point lead. So we've seen everything we need to see. Now we need to see them playing well in the second half with consistency going into the end of the year. After this all-star break, school's out, baby. School's out. Because everybody is trying to get in line to get to the playoffs and make a run for the title. It doesn't look, I said it earlier this year, I thought New York was poised to repeat. I still kind of think that because Jonquel Jones is going to come back eventually. But New York is showing chinks in the armor. LA, chinks in the armor. Vegas, chinks in the armor. Indiana, chinks in the armor. I saw the thing right now is what do they say? Is Indiana finals contenders? I don't know yet. And I'll say that with confidence as an Indiana fan. I don't know yet. I need to see if Caitlin Clark, number one, can come back and is she out of this slump? That's number one. Number two, I need to see that Indiana can play in the third and fourth quarter with matched pace and consistency and win games in the second half. I need to see more of that. That's it. Those are the two things I'm looking for. Stephanie White will be fine. So, okay, so that it's official. Caitlin Clark is not playing. And guess what? That's the same team that won the cup. So guess what? No excuses. No excuses. It is what it is. People are going to argue that Nafisa Collier didn't have our best day, and that's why Minnesota lost. That's fair. Why didn't she have a good day? She had open shots that she didn't make. The same rules apply. If I can bitch, moan, and complain that Indiana is losing because in the third or fourth quarter, they just not making open shots, what do you think I'm going to say about Fee? The whole game, Fee had open shots that she wasn't making, that she normally makes. That's a fair criticism. She normally makes those shots. So the people that are Minnesota fans, they're going to say, well, if Fee didn't play so bad, well, that's correct. But she did. And whose fault is that? Indiana's. So it goes both ways. And I'm good with that because it's going to say Commissioner Cup champions in parentheses is not going to say because Fee Collier didn't have a good game. It doesn't say that. It just says it's the champion. So the reason to me is irrelevant. Even though there might be some truth to it. It's irrelevant. When it was time to show up, she didn't. Some people will say the same thing in the finals last year. You mean to tell me Courtney Williams, Natasha Howard, all of them girls, Shepard, all of them, Michaela McBride, they didn't want them 30 bands? They wasn't playing for that money? She had her opportunities to make shots and she didn't make it. That's the way it goes. Indiana made their shots. Natasha Howard got hot. Kelsey Mitchell been hot. It is what it is. Minnesota had the same opportunities that Indiana had, and they didn't make their shots. So you know what? Indiana took the win. Minnesota fans, if you're going to be mad, you're going to be mad by yourself. I still think the Lynx are going to do some things in the tournament when the playoffs start. But until we get there, we're going to see what we're going to see. That's the beauty of it, man. Don't get caught up in all of this nonsense. And you know what? Let me be 100% with you. Sometimes I got to stop myself from getting caught up in that nonsense. When you see some of the titles and the thumbnails of some of these videos, it's like, why would you even go there? But the first thing you want to do is go in the comments and stuff like that. But like, hey, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Keep it basketball. Keep it basketball. If you keep it basketball, it's going to play itself out one way or the other. Is Indiana a contender? I don't know, but it's going to play itself out. Did Chicago turn it around, and can Angel Reese bring the Chicago Sky to the playoffs? I don't know, but it's going to play itself out. Is Tyler Marsh going to last the season? Because they was hunting for his head a couple weeks ago. I don't know, but it's going to play itself out. Let the basketball determine everything that's going to happen, because the basketball will always speak the truth. There's no narratives. There's no stories. There's no bias. None of that. On the court. Who's making shots? Who's not? That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see. Is Angel Reese as good as everybody thinks she is? Or I should say, all the Angel Reese fans, is she as good as they think she is? We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to my man Brooklyn, because Brooklyn told me. He said, hey, Angel Reese had handles in high school. I don't remember seeing her handle the ball like that at LSU. Then he sent me a video clip. And I said, man, if Angel Reese gets those handles back, I don't know what Kim Mulkey did to her at LSU. But if she ever gets those handles back, that stuff that she was doing when she was high school, man, listen. Y'all really gonna hate her then. Because she's gonna be schooling everybody. But we ain't there yet. She done had a couple good games. She back to her double ways. Angel Reese can do double doubles in her sleep. And here's the thing. Whether you like Angel Reese or not, and everybody all of a sudden, double is no big deal. I don't know when that started, because you got 4th and 5th and 6th year veterans getting their first career doubles. And Angel Reese is doing that shit while she's sleepwalking. So y'all saw my video. All of them people talking about Angel Reese is trash. I'm like, I don't know what you're looking at. And that comes down to y'all just don't like her for whatever reason. It's the same thing with Caitlin Clark. It's the same thing with Caitlin Clark. The people that don't like Caitlin Clark really don't like Caitlin Clark for, and then you insert reason there, but that reason really doesn't make any sense. But is that any different than any other sport? Is that any different than tennis, soccer, baseball, football, NBA? Is it any different? No. When Jordan was doing his thing, and when Michael Jordan, and I can speak on this because I was in college when Michael Jordan happened. Still in high school when Be Like Mike happened. I was in college and graduated college when Jordan became Jordan. Started winning championships and all. That was when I was at the end of my high school going into college. So I saw it, and I saw people. Michael Jordan could do no wrong. Could do no wrong. You should see how people talked about Michael Jordan before he won the championships, before he got Scottie Pippen. And it was like all he can do is dunk. And then he got the piece. And everything changed. Indiana's in the same boat. They're in the same damn boat. Kelsey Mitchell was one of the best ever at Ohio State, one of the best ever in college. And she languished for what, 5, 6 years in Indiana, winning how many games? 6, 7 games a year, not even sniffing the playoffs. Last year was the first time Kelsey Mitchell in her career made it to the playoffs. It is supremely difficult to win a championship at the pro level. People need to remember that. Just because you see it on TV don't mean it's easy to do. So, D. Jordan, you do get a lot of talk from Sky fans, and guess what? That's the way it's supposed to be. They fans. They supposed to ride or die for their team. That I ain't got no problem with that. Indiana fans do it. Minnesota fans do it. LA fans, Las Vegas fans, Connecticut fans. Everybody's supposed to, if you a fan, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. That ain't nothing new. Do they go overboard? Absolutely. So does Indiana. So does Minnesota. So does every other team. They fans go over the top. That is what they're supposed to do. Yeah. 100%. Listen, I'm an F1 fan. I've been watching Lewis Hamilton since he started. Since he started. Bubba Wallace, the same way. Of course, I'm gonna watch. I'm a NASCAR fan. Dale Jarrett was my dude. Of course, I'm gonna watch Bubba Wallace, a legitimate black driver that's good. He's not Bill Lester, somebody coming from a different part of racing, just trying to be one of the first black drivers to drive in the NASCAR. That wasn't Bill Lester. Couldn't do anything. He wasn't a NASCAR driver. He was like a Le Mans 24-hour type dude. Bubba Wallace is for real. Rajah Caruth is for real. So I'm feeling that, especially somebody like me that likes NASCAR. I went to school in Kentucky, bro. You know what I'm saying? I done been to Dover. I done been in the pits. I got a video somewhere. Matter of fact, I could bring it up on my it's on my other YouTube channel. I got a video of me in the pits at a race in Dover from like, I don't know, damn near 20 years ago now. I was over the wall. I'll bring it up before I get out of here. I was over the wall. I was in the pits underneath the pit crew with a camera leaning over the wall as who was it? Kyle Busch came in for a pit stop. I'm leaning over the wall. Literally, it looks like he is about to hit me with his car. If you don't believe me, stay tuned. I'm going to show it to you. I'm a fan. So, I'm saying all that to say, D, yeah, I appreciate what you're saying about Lewis Hamilton. And now Max Verstappen. Absolutely. So, Ari might be your pip. Nah. Ari might be a BJ Armstrong, but she ain't Pippen. Pippen got to go to either Lexi, Kelsey, or Aaliyah. My vote would be for Kelsey Mitchell. Got to be Kelsey Mitchell. So, come on, Tiff. You already know. You already know. Listen, I was at the golf range tonight. And of course, me being the nerd that I am, I got a golf app. I got my tripod hooked up, and I'm doing all of this stuff. And of course, this dude comes over asking me questions. So I'm like, yeah, I'll show it to you. So I pull out my phone, and of course, my screenshot is me and Saquon Barkley from when I was at camp on Alumni Day. So of course, he asked me about that. One thing leads to another. Yeah, you used to play with the Birds and blah, 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 blah. I used to know Randall Cunningham. So all of that stuff, man, wherever I go, somebody will figure it out. They used to do me like that when when I was working at Apple. I'd be at the Apple store, and my buddy Bruce, who played for the Jets, he played for the Jets in the 70s, in the late 70s, I think 78 and 79. But he used to always talk to customers, and if a little boy would come in, sometimes the kids would come in on Saturdays because I would work on Saturdays, and the kids would come in with their uniforms on, and Bruce would be like, "You know who that is over there? Birds all day, Tiff. You already know." So, um, so yeah, I'm about. Let me find this thing because I'm about to get up out of here. I wanted to go for an hour. We rocking an hour right now, and but let me see if I can show you this NASCAR video. Let me see. It's on another channel. Let me find it. See if I can. There we go. Look at that. I got 28 subscribers. I done had this channel for years and never used it. I used it. I looked at YouTube like social media. I never really, not until I really got with it. So hold on. Let y'all into this. I'm gonna find this video. Dashboard videos. I got here's the OG, Harold Carmichael, Hall of Fame Harold Carmichael. When we won the Super Bowl in 2017, this is all of the Eagles alumni at the Art Museum. And Harold stood up and started talking to us and, talking about getting together and all that type of stuff. So he a real OG. So, but hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Go back to it. Me and Doug Peterson. Let me see. No, I got it somewhere. Videos. There's some of my highlights. Here's my touchdown against Atlanta. See, this is the one thing that I am really jealous of today's era. Everything is HD. Look at this nasty, horrible quality videotape. Yeah, this was against Atlanta. That was a good run against Atlanta up the middle. I could tote that rock now. Don't get it twisted. That was 6.7 yards of carry in college. Don't mess with me. All right. Enough of that. Let's go to NASCAR. I told you I was a geek. Do 3D animations, all that type of stuff. With my little grands. My grandson right there. He a grown man now, but here we go. This is Kurt Busch pit stop. Check this out. Hold on. I'm gonna turn the sound on this one. I don't know if you can hear it though. Hold on. Window capture. Oh, let me see. I want y'all to hear this. There we go. Hold on. Hope y'all can hear this. Hold on. We'll turn it up. Look at that. All four tires and he gassed up and out of there. Out of there. Here's another one. That was Kurt Busch. Where's the other one? And then I had a couple of them. Let me see. I'm gonna show you one more. We're gonna get up out of here. That was Kurt Busch. This is Greg Biffle. I think he took the lead on this pit stop too. Yeah, this was the real deal. Them boys they be putting it together. You see them high fiving after this pit stop. They was hyped because they took the lead. Yeah, I'm a NASCAR fan, bro. I'm a NASCAR fan. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Yes, sir. Don't get it twisted, man. So, that was fun. But all right, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. That was fun. Um, I will be streaming the game tomorrow. So that should be cool. Um, yeah, let's see if they can win tomorrow. If they can put it down tomorrow, if they play like they did against Minnesota, if Aaliyah Boston does the same thing she did the last time she played Asia Wilson, because you already know Asia Wilson gonna be trying to get some get back. Because Aaliyah Boston kind of put it on her. She woke up in the fourth quarter, but Aaliyah Boston, you're not gonna stop Asia Wilson, but Aaliyah Boston did a great job of containing her. And Asia Wilson wasn't happy because she said whatever she said to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah looked like she ain't know how to respond. But Aaliyah was putting that body on her, and Asia was on the struggle bus. So Asia is going to be trying to get some get back tonight or tomorrow night, rather. So um, y'all come on back. I'm gonna be streaming live. Tell your friends, invite everybody to the party. The goal tomorrow is I'm trying to get. I need to have over 100 live on the stream. That's the goal. So I'm trying to make that happen. Last couple times we didn't had. I think the other day we peaked at like 87 or something like that. But I don't even think that was at a game. That was like after. But but yeah, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Um, Before you get up out of here today, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I forgot to say that. Forgot to put my little poll up. Did you hit the like button? But do that. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Game time tomorrow is 7 p.m. So I'll probably be online at 6:30. So we can have a little conversation before the game. Appreciate you, D. Appreciate you. Bring your friends. Um, so I will probably be online tomorrow at around 6:30. The game starts at 7. The game is on Prime Video. So we'll be checking that out. And I will see y'all tomorrow, man. Appreciate the conversation. D Jordan, I appreciate you, brother. 99 Problems. Tiffany, as usual. Um, who else? Who else was in the chat? Real Money. Appreciate you. Bob Paranoiac. Appreciate you, Bob. SNL, appreciate you. Chris 3K, as usual, my brother. Appreciate everybody. Quentin, everybody that was in the building tonight. Daniel Berry Sports, as usual. He was first out the limo. Always thankful for that. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.